Travel nursing can bring you to places you've never been before. Tell us your story.
Hello, how are you? How are you? It's Rita at the Travel Nurse channel. I'm a little late because I made a technical goof. So here we are starting again. It's now 10:14. Welcome, welcome if you're new. And to all of you that are checking back in, great to see you. And let's talk about the good stuff. I thought we are here for those that travel in healthcare, primarily nurses or a large group. I am a nurse, and it's been a focus for me for a long time to offer anything and everything that might concern you about travel nursing. So it can be convoluted if you've never done it before. So lots of lessons. Check our archives. We're on Facebook and YouTube. And here again today. I thought I'd just focus on some good stuff today. And, you know, we have fires everywhere. We're still dealing with COVID and new strains and all kinds of ages getting sick and so forth. So it's good to have good things to talk about. So that's what I thought I'd do today. And we will talk about what other nurses have experienced, where the best money is that you can make, where the most opportunities are for you. But let's really highlight what is good about, for me, this would be, I don't know why, I'm always fussing. I haven't worn a scarf in a long time, but chilly in Southern California is when it's 60 or below. Good grief, we need a sweatshirt. But it'll be a perfect 72 or 75 today. And the sun will break through the marine layer. So no complaints about the weather here. All right, folks. So for me, this has got to be one of the things at the top of the list. If you are thinking about traveling as a healthcare worker, as a nurse, freedom. Freedom. So many freedoms. Freedoms to try. Let me I have my little notes here, like I would forget because it's so attractive. Especially to me now, you know, I still have a lot of commitments at home and family members that I care for. But the freedom to try, and I have plenty of freedoms. I just don't have them many days in a row. But the freedom to try new things. If you are a nurse or someone in the field of healthcare with several maybe at this point in your career, several specialties, that gives you a lot of freedom with traveling. So say you spent many years in oncology as an oncology nurse, and then you went into critical care, and maybe you also have some telemetry in your pocket. You have 3 different specialties to market, and you can market them in acute care, in subacute care, in clinics. I mean, so many opportunities. You have the freedom to explore new worlds, different worlds. I mean, in one state alone, there are many worlds, right? California, for example, New York is another one. There's cultural differences. There's topographical differences. You go from the southern shores of California with its beaches and its Hollywood and so many things there, to the middle of the state where we have lots of rural, lots of farming, to the northern part of the state with our beautiful, I haven't even been to the most northern part of the state, but places like Yosemite, beautiful mountains and forest, and oh my goodness, what a beautiful state we have. To cities like San Francisco. You know, we have a lot to offer in California. And you have the freedom to choose where the best salaries are. So that kind of freedom is just almost overwhelming. But that is what is there for travelers. So just touching on that. What else is there? There is an ability to make new friends. There is the ability to travel with your pet or pets. So I'm look, wisdom hairs. I'm up there in years, and I can't imagine leaving my family. And who does that include? That includes my dogs. And for some people, they're birds, and for some people, they're cats. And so you get to do that as a traveler. You decide what to do with your living space. Whether you're renting or owning, you get to decide what to do with that space for 3 months or 6 months. And then you get to choose a new space and bring your pets. That's absolutely a possibility. You get to pick what city to work in. And I'm going to go through some of the cities with the most availability and the highest salaries. I'll go through that in a moment. You get to experience being more independent. I consider myself a forward-thinking female, independent, and so forth, but not really. I've been married for eons. I have children and grandchildren and friends and my mom. I'm lucky enough to still have my mom and my cousin that I help take care of. So I have some independence, but a lot of independence. So had I chosen to travel at a different point in my life, and I really did, when my youngest child was just about grown, talked to my husband about it. Would he mind if I tried it out? And I just didn't do it. I got more involved as a corporate nurse. So I missed the boat. I did do per diem nursing, and I had that experience of using my talents at different facilities, but they were always, between anywhere from 15, even less than that. I would say from 6 or 7 miles to 30 or 40 miles from home. So I did have the experience of using my talents and sharing with others and learning from others at different facilities. And what happened when I did the per diem nursing as a clinical nurse is that I not only challenged myself, but I relished the variety of assignments that I could do. So I was a nurse that took care of some of the first, pretty, not critically ill, very ill AIDS patients. I went into homes and did that. I experienced working at university hospitals and small private hospitals and some prestigious hospitals like Loma Linda. And it really was an exploration in my nursing career, and it was wonderful. And I really, really did it. And I did it for many years and was able to pick and choose my schedule. So I had that freedom of choosing my schedule. Now, travel nurses may not have that much freedom of scheduling, but often travel nurses, whether they work 5 days a week, 4 days a week, or 3 days a week, have plenty of free time to do their personal exploring. But per diem nursing offered me to work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So childcare was done by Dad. I mostly worked 3 to 11s back in the day. And so I needed very little childcare because Dad picked up the kids and got them their dinner. So there's a lot of freedoms and a lot of choices. And you experience independence. I learned working independently of familiar supervisors, of familiar units. I had that. So I wouldn't change it. My career has been a delight for me. You'll get to see the country, and that's dependent on you. If you like warmer climates, just choose the warmer. Alabama, Florida, Georgia, lots of climates that are very amenable to people that prefer flip-flops. Okay, or if you prefer rural, say you live in a big city and you want to, maybe do some home visits, or gosh, I always forget what that's called when nurses go out and visit. Um, not home health necessarily, but health care in rural communities. That's big, big, big need all over the country. And the telehealth is huge all over the country. I personally, for my own healthcare visits, choose telehealth when I can. It's a little tricky. It needs to be ironed out at some of our facilities, and I don't want to go off track, but I know there's things going on out there and concerns about your privacy. So be very, very careful when you are using the internet and telehealth to make connections with your providers. That's just another whole topic. Okay, and getting to see the country is awesome. So you might choose the warmer climates, like I said, or you might choose to go out of the continental United States to possibly Alaska, to possibly Hawaii. How awesome, how awesome. Of course, as a travel nurse, as any healthcare provider, you will help people. You will help people in different demographics. You have that opportunity. And of course, you will expand your professional network. You will give and take and share and learn and teach volumes. We had a guest nurse on. I really need to look her up again. And she was working on her doctorate in nursing. And her assignment, one of her first, she didn't plan on being a travel nurse. She loved traveling. Her family were all over the world, and so she, had traveled to Europe and other places. But she had the opportunity on an assignment that was an error. I think she was supposed to be working in an ER, and she got sent to a telemetry unit or med surge telemetry, and she wound up earning the respect and playing with my scarf. I haven't worn a scarf in so long. It's very lightweight. It's my Jerry Garcia scarf. I hung on to it. I originally bought it to wear with a black dress. There's black in it. I don't know if you can see the black. There's, oh, Jerry. It's very flower child kind of thing. Anyway, I don't know. Some of you younger people, Jerry Garcia was one of the founders of the Grateful Dead, and he died a long time ago. It's a lot of fun hearing him, knowing of him. So we're back to some of the good, the better, and the best things about travel nursing. And I listed some of them, but I think I want to talk about some of the cities that may interest you. And I wrote some notes. Do you know one of the, I'm going to give you, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I listed 9. So hopefully I can get to that. If you'd like to comment, let me open up the comment line. We are live right now. Oh, my elbow got stuck in there. Okay, we are live right now on Facebook and YouTube, and this is the Travel Nurse channel. My name is Rita, and I welcome you. And if you ever want to be a guest, if you'd like to chat with me on Tuesdays or any time that works best for you, we usually broadcast Tuesdays between 10 and 11 Pacific Standard Time. If I have to change that schedule, I usually give you a week's notice that there will be a change. And we have guest speakers that speak on hospice nursing, travel nursing, finances for travelers, recruiters, best companies to travel with, specific companies that recruit just respiratory therapy or just radiology assignments. There are companies out there that just do travel assignments for LVNs, for CNAs. There are companies that just do assignments for labor and delivery. So there's just a big world of travel out there. So I like to bring you pieces of it and discuss areas that I have expertise in. And I always, always, always invite others to join me and share their experiences and their expertise with you. And so we've had some guests. We will have more. I'm actually now hot on the trail to get some nursing authors to speak with you. And I've actually reached out to a nursing union to speak to you. So hopefully these are areas and topics of interest to you. If you have topics that you are interested in or you would like to join me, please, please, please email me or call me. The number's on, I think the number's on the board there, 800-737-6518, 800-737-6518. Call me anytime. We could discuss you being on the show. It'd be wonderful. Or email me if that's easier for you, and we can arrange time and date to talk and broadcast. And that is Rita, R-I-T-A, at travelnursechannel.com. I still have my old email from my per diem company, and that is Rita at allstarstaffing.com. So many, many ways to get in touch with me, and I look forward to hearing from you. But let's talk about the freedom to make some of the best salaries for travel nurses. Now you can certainly, and I encourage you to do your homework, to do your due diligence, to do a little research with competitive companies about rates. And I think I may repeat this if I don't get a guest speaker soon, of how to simplify and understand your salaries, because it isn't just this is what you get paid and you will be taxed. There are a lot of specifics to it. There's pay, salary, then there's stipends for when you travel. How do you get there? Do you go in a car, a motorhome? Do you fly, etc.? So there could be stipends for travel, right? You get a little allowance for that. That's probably not going to be taxed. You get stipends for living. You're away from home for 3 months or more on a travel assignment. You need food, you need lodging, you need all the basics, correct? A box of tissues, whatever it is you need to live, right? So there could be non-taxable income, and then you can figure out what works best for you with your current lifestyle. Do you or don't you have loans? Do you or don't you have a motorhome, etc.? So travel assignments can really help you in a financial pinch in many different ways. And how you approach that is really best discussed with your financial planner, but also will help you to research what's going to work best for you. And so forth. But I'm just going to highlight, I have 9 cities here that I wrote down, and most of them are magnets for a good skilled travel nurse. And I mean a good skilled nurse that wishes to travel. So you don't necessarily have to have a ton of travel experience. And any one of these would be, I gotta say, glorious places to visit that are going to give you a great salary and benefits. We'll use all those stipends and other pieces that I discussed as great salaries. Let's just bunch it into salaries. You will get great pay. Let's say that, okay? So these are some of the ones at the top of the list. And I'm looking at the last year, 2 or 3, because things were different and difficult to evaluate during COVID. So I kind of grouped the last several years to give you the highlights. And I have mentioned this one before, but I'll mention it. One of the ones at the top of the list is Austin, Texas. Yes, Austin, Texas. It's a fast growing state. One of my good best friends, who is a respiratory therapist, recently retired. Never say never. She may get called back. She's a wonderful therapist, my dear friend. Well, her daughter actually lived and her niece and daughter both lived in Austin, Texas, and have really positive things to say. Lots of work for them. It's a fast-growing city. It's highly regarded for its healthcare facilities. Because of the growing population, they built beautiful, wonderful healthcare facilities. big magnet for nurses and skilled travel therapists and technicians as well. And beautiful music, homes, beautiful, beautiful place to live. And you don't have to travel far between facility and your living accommodations. And very, very top of the list, like coming in second or third for highest paying. So that gives you lots of opportunities. Austin, Texas. I'm going to mention number 2 on my list. That's my personal list. I just picked 9 or 10 of the top cities, and there are more. Anchorage, Alaska. All of Alaska. I have still not made a trip to Alaska. I was heading there for my godson's retirement from the Army. That was his last station, and he finally retired. God bless him. Has a big life ahead of him. Very successful, very decorated. But I didn't make it because I had trouble booking any place to stay or cars or any tours. It's pretty busy in the summer. But you, as a traveler, could go to one of the United States of America's most stunning natural beauties would be Alaska. And Anchorage needs nurses. So there you go. Anchorage, Alaska is on my list. Now, I'm going to mention this island city, because I have visited it. I did have a short trip there with my mother, my daughter, and my husband, and I won't forget it, is Maui, Hawaii. And it is a great, great assignment for a travel nurse. It is probably not at the top 10 as far as, maybe lower, closer to 8, 9, or 10 as far as the salaries, as the pay, but it's worth it. If you just need to make a fair salary as a traveler, you will make a fair salary in Maui. But it is gorgeous. You will have a great experience. You will see nature that is only unique to that island, specifically to Hawaii, but that island is just absolutely breathtaking, and still lots of natural places to visit, waterfalls and caves and hills and mountains and valleys. It's absolutely gorgeous. So if that is on your bucket list, that is an opportunity for you. You may have to wait if you're a brand new traveler, and different times of the year they may need more travelers than others. I kind of think Hawaii is a tourist attraction round all year long. I know that they, like, say, Florida and some of the East Coast have hurricane seasons and so forth. So that would just make it more exciting to me, actually. But Maui is absolutely on the list for travelers as a place to travel and enjoy the freedoms of exploring and making friends and expanding your career. Hawaii is there for you. Let's get to another one. Completely different type of assignment would be Denver, Colorado. My brother lived near there with his family, and it was one of their favorite places to live. They lived there for a long time, and they were not friends, but close friends with more than a dozen people on their block. So my brother and his wife have 3 beautiful children, 3 beautiful adults now, and lived in a small town near Denver. And they hiked, they skied, they snowboard. They had beautiful friendships. They were living near the Rocky Mountains, the home of the Rocky Mountains. For you young people, that would be Rocky Mountain High by John Denver. Maybe I wonder if he chose that as a stage name, because he loved Colorado. But Denver is one of the highest salaries you can reach in travel nursing, and a great experience. I've met so many people other than my family from Colorado. Lovely, lovely, lovely place to go. Okay, we can't forget Los Angeles, specifically lots and lots of assignments in Burbank. I'm going to say two things: Hollywood and Disney. Oh, who doesn't have some interest in Hollywood and Disney? I am a big movie fan, and now kind of a TV series fan. Oh my goodness, I love it. My friends and I have to have a little TV movie discussion almost every time we talk. So yeah, so Burbank, the heart of entertainment, modeling, TV, movies, all of it. Disney is constantly hiring, has a plethora of assignments. What is Cedar Sinai in Burbank? No, I think that's actually LA. But anyway, beautiful hospitals, healthcare assignments, home health. One we need so much is, I don't know if it's something that many of you travelers would consider, but nursing placement, I'm trying to think. If I don't write it down, it escapes me. It's, you know, the nurses that you need when you need to be placed outside of the hospital. So, oh my gosh, it's escaping me. But unique assignments, all kinds of unique assignments and needs for travel nurses in Burbank, California. Okay, where else? Let's stay in California. San Francisco. San Francisco, what a beautiful, beautiful, diverse city. Great salaries, competitive salaries, near to wine country, kind of a food mecca, lots and lots of, what do I want to say, transportation, lots of, oh my gosh, my vocabulary is terrible today. What did I say? Rapid transit, metro transit, underground, overground, trains, buses. San Francisco really, really, really wins the award for that. You can get around so easily. Why do I keep playing with the scarf? I probably should just take it off. San Francisco is a beautiful city. You have the San Francisco Bay. You have Sausalito. My sister, God bless her, she turned me on to so many things in Northern California, and including wineries, including San Francisco theater, shopping, big, beautiful department stores. Haight-Ashbury, if you want a little nostalgia, if you have a hippie vibe, you know, if you're interested in a hippie vibe. It's an extraordinary city, and they pay really well, and they need nurses. They need healthcare workers. They need, oh my gosh, they need CAT scan technicians. They need ultrasound technicians. They need you. What a city. Can't say enough about San Francisco. Let's flip to another big giant city that offers really probably even better maybe than San Francisco. New York City. New York City. Absolutely. Hey, I'm not hearing from anybody. I see there's some mail, so I'll check my mail when I go off air. How are we doing with time? Yeah, we've got still more than 15 minutes for this broadcast. This is the Travel Nurse Channel. This is Rita. I invite you to chat with me. We're live. Just go to Facebook and say whatever you'd like to say. Or call me or email me, and you can join the program. We can have multiple people on video and mic at the same time. It'd be a lot of fun. Anyway, we're talking right now about the good, better, and best things about traveling. And my top of the list of good things is the freedom travel gives you. And better than that, salary it gives you. And one of the best things is that you get to choose. You get to take your talents to choose where you want to go, what you want to explore. You get to add to your resume, to your career highlights, You get to help people. As always, it's a helping profession, being a nurse, being a healthcare worker. And also expand your professional network, regardless of what area you're doing. If you're working in clinics, if you're working as a home health nurse, or a, gosh, what is, I apologize for my, I'll come back to you with some nursing vocabulary, with some healthcare vocabulary, but there are nurses that work on the road in rural areas, that people that are not near to hospitals, that maybe are on an Indian reservation, or hills and away from cities and so forth. So there are nurses that go out and do nursing there. And I have recruited some of them over the years, and they're very, very exceptional. And it's their thing. It's something they've chosen to do and that they do well. And it's hard to recruit for that kind of nurse with that kind of experience. So if that's who you are, you get to travel as well. So, or if you have some experience of working in the community, but you are from a big city and you relish the idea of working in a rural area, that could be an assignment that you want to pursue. So I'm talking right now about some cities, because I think it's always nice to know about where the better salaries are. So I hit on some cities that have some of the best salaries, and what's exciting about those cities, and what's just a few tidbits about what those cities offer. And right now I'm on New York City, and I don't think I need to say too much. New York City has it all. It has it all. You could live in a loft. You could share with someone else in some penthouse apartment. You could just go for a small studio and save your money for other things like theater and food, and just seeing the sights, the museums. You could probably be there for 90 days and not get to every museum. And art, I have a cousin that, I'm not sure if he's still in New York, he's traveled around a bit, artist and docent and museum guy, or gallery guy. He has been to Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, and there's just not enough time to see all the art. New York City is a fantastic place, has a very competitive salary, and needs travelers. And what else did I put on my list? Oh, two more. I'm going to add Tucson. Tucson, Arizona is a wonderful place to visit. They have needs. They have good salaries. Their cost of living is lower than many places. They have a desert climate, and so fun to learn about the desert, what grows there, who lives there. And an interesting thing about Tucson is that they have a younger demographic in general. If you balance out populations in cities, there's actually a younger demographic. I think people have migrated there from the expensive towns in California and other areas of Arizona. And it's a wonderful, I was there for a very short time with some friends. We did a bike tour. It's beautiful. And if you like warmth and desert climate, it's different. Their winter's different, their summer's different. So consider Tucson if you're looking at opportunities to travel to. And then the last one I'm going to put in, I mentioned Austin, Texas, but consider Dallas, Texas. Austin, because it's new and fast growing and has great healthcare facilities, great salaries. But Dallas is ranked has one of the highest and best opportunities for travelers as well. So a much bigger city, a lot of history. We have presidents that resided there. So Dallas is a big opportunity, a big city, so more opportunities to travel to different facilities there. Maybe start in Dallas and move over to Austin if you want to continue your assignments in Texas and learn more about Texas. There's also San Antonio. There's a lot to be offered in Texas as far as travel assignments. Okay, I think I've opened up my comments line, but I'm not getting any comments today. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, I will be here next Tuesday. I will hopefully have a guest for you, and I'm here to help you expand your knowledge of the travel industry, the healthcare travel industry. Know that it's multifaceted, it's full of opportunities. I try to give you some good stuff today, good, better, and best. I think the best thing is the freedom. Probably up there is some of the pay that you can get. And then, of course, expanding your horizons with new friends and beautiful, beautiful places, extraordinary places like Maui and Anchorage. That was today's highlight. All right, folks, wonderful being with you. Tell your friends about us. If you're interested in advertising, being a sponsor with the Travel Nurse Channel, call our number 800-737-6518 anytime. And thanks a lot. I've got our little nurse brand commercial here, and I'll end with that. Thanks so much for tuning in. And here she comes.
Travel nursing can bring you to places you've never been before. Tell us your story.